This is Tommy Chong, and you're listening and watching Harris is Drinking Again. Sounds like a ghetto movie.
What's cracking, y'all? It's Lil Kelpie from the 1503, aka Kelpie the P, aka call me whatever you want, just don't call me broke. And I'm fucking with the Harris is Drinking Again podcast, one of the first podcasts or platforms to put me on. Y'all better stay following them, watching them. Stay tuned for more shit. Big things happening in the future.
Harry's drinking again?
Yo. Back up in the building for another edition of the
Harry's drinking again
Pubcast. And I'm your host, Mr. Harris, aka Harry Too Scary. And I'm back up in the building with maybe a familiar face to those loyal subscribers that have been rocking with me since day one. But to the recent ones, maybe not. Or maybe you're like, oh no, I've seen him in all sorts of shit, man. See him on Dry Bar Comedy as well. Stand-up comedian. This man's has a lot that he's done and a lot that he offers still, and he's here with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Christopher Lawrence. Thank you, sir, for coming back your second time on my Rinky-Dink micro platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Harris. Thanks for having me.
Nah, man, it's definitely a pleasure. I guess you had a good enough time the first time. That'd be great. You know, the last time when you came on here, I think we were ending the show and we were getting a little bit into your, love or taste for tequila. And I think we were talking a little bit about food and stuff, man. I kind of want to go backwards and then get into your career and then, of course, some of the latest stuff you've been doing and everything. Now, the last interview, you're a big tequila man.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a tequila snob.
Okay. And you know all the flavor profiles and whatnot, and you go for that. And has there been any tequilas maybe since the last time you were on, or anything recent that's piqued your interest, or what are you drinking these days?
There's one called Dos Armadillos that has I really like their reposado, and so that one, it's the price point is around between 40 and 60 depending on where you get it from. So it doesn't break the bank, but it's quality. It's smooth. It has its own distinct flavor. It's a good sipping tequila, good everyday sipper if you need it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to try that. I'm a bartender by trade. I'm still doing that whole thing. I've made a relocation. I'm back in my home state of Nevada. So currently from Reno, Nevada. We're not too far from each other.
Oh yeah, I get up that way a lot.
Okay, I mean, if you ever do come this way, and we talked about it before, like on some business stuff. But even if we could do a whatever we can do to network. But are you much of a cigar man? Do you go to cigar bars and different things?
Not really. I used to, but not anymore. It's like I'm as I get older, it's like you just don't want to be polluting my lungs more.
Right. Yeah, make different decisions. That's interesting.
Yeah, but when I did, I like the Rocky Patels, the CAO, Brasilia. There were some Davidoffs.
Okay, I found I have a local cigar bar that I've been frequenting, and it's just interesting to be around all the men, manly men and different businessmen, and up in there, and I was just like, this feels good though. It feels there's something to it.
It's kind of like the barbershop,
Yes, absolutely. Only a few places that we can go to get away, and I guess of course women are welcome. They said they had a couple women that frequent those types of places. And then also last time, thank you for this. You gave us a soliloquy, and that was wonderful. And we were talking about discipline and consistency, and I was going to ask you, like, obviously from what you told us, that's something you say nightly before you go to bed, or when you wake, or kind of before you
like I use it to kind of go to sleep on, just to put it in my subconscious mind, because you never know when you're going to have an audition for some Shakespeare stuff, and it's acting is a muscle. It's like you got to exercise it, and we don't normally talk that way. And so my thing is I kind of run that monologue just to keep it fresh in my head. So if something pops up, then I'm ready.
Absolutely. And we've been going down the manosphere kind of rabbit hole over here on YouTube. I'm surprised they haven't kicked us off or anything yet, but I'm playing by the rules. But how important is it, do you think, in your opinion, like for a man in general, a male, a young man, an older man, for us to have a sort of daily, whether it's a prayer, a mantra, a routine, a ritual, something for us to go through? Is that? Can you speak a little bit on that? Just
it's like I like to tell people that you got to believe in something, and for me, my faith is paramount. So I always encourage people to pray every day, pray without ceasing. First Thessalonians 5:17 says, "Pray without ceasing." Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't get back to sleep, and I'll pray for people that I know by name, because one, it's good to pray for other people, and two, by the time I get through thinking of everybody to pray for, it helps me get back to sleep. But then in the morning, I always say a prayer in the morning and read my word in the morning. And I think it's important for us to have some faith in our lives to help us when we're making decisions. Because sometimes we especially when we're younger, younger men make snap decisions without thinking sometimes, and the Holy Spirit is in us to help us make decisions. Sometimes we don't listen to him, and that's when we get in trouble.
I know I do. I'm sure it's a struggle for you to stay on that path. There's sometimes you wake up, or you may not want. A lot of it is doing something that you don't want maybe always to do, but you stay on it because there's a better outcome on the other side.
I wouldn't say that not wanting to do it. I think that you do something 21 days in a row, it becomes habit. So then you continue to do it. And for me, it's not that I don't want to. It's like sometimes we'll find an excuse not to. I'm too tired to do it tonight. I'm too whatever. But if you look at people around you and within your family and your friends, everybody has needs, and so there's always someone you can pray for, even if it's just one person to pray for.
Yeah, and that's something that's been instilled in you since like pretty much a young child, or did you go through a battle with like trying to figure it out on your own? I guess obviously.
Well, I grew up my mom was a single mom, and we grew up going to church. And when I got to college, there became a point where I decided, well, I don't have to go. And years later, I felt like there was something missing in my life, and I got back into it. And I think more importantly, I got back into the Word. Started reading the Word, and I read it every day. If you look at my Insta, you'll see that I post scripture nearly every day, every single day. And sometimes, when I post and I read the word and I post it, sometimes it's for me, it's clearly God talking directly to me. And sometimes, it's for somebody else, it's like somebody else might see it and say, oh, I needed that today. Mm-hmm. How when you're first out on your own, we as men, we feel like, we don't need nobody. We can do this on our own. And then when those trials start hitting you, then, what do you do? How do you recover from it? And some people don't recover from trials, because they don't have anything to lean on to. And I tell people, cling to your faith.
I don't necessarily have that faith in like the word, or I don't know necessarily what it means. I do in a sense, but I do believe in like something, right? Or a spirituality, a higher power. I have a hard time with titles, and this is something me and Ray have great debates about, and you guys would too. But is believing something enough, or do you believe at some point, like you have to, I guess what they would say, like submit or give in to, like you have to actually, accept the salvation in a way, like you.
Well, Jesus Christ said, "Only believe." So basically, that means if you believe that he was born, and then died, and then rose again in 3 days, to pay for our sin. That's all it takes. It's you believe, you confess with your mouth that he did that, and he did it for you, and you shall be saved. That's the word of God. And a lot of people think you got to work your way into heaven and all that. It's no, that's not what Jesus said.
Simplify. Yeah. I think a lot of people.
That being said, go and try not to sin, but he knows that you're gonna fail before you do it. It's like he knows what we're gonna do before we do it. Then you just repent and keep on kicking.
Right. I guess I can maintain with that. I've been doing that for a minute. It's that's crazy, man. Not crazy. It's great, but moving forward a little bit as far as your recent works, and because I think we talked, it was still 2022. So in the last 6 months, the beginning of this year, how have you been in general? I mean, how's your career? How's the rest of this year shaping up and out for you? And how are you just maneuvering through California? Of course, being a non-Californian, we're just hearing about craziness. How you moving, man?
Yeah. Well, the year it's starting a little slow, but comedy wise, I'm busy and I'm auditioning and stuff. And I had one of the projects that I was working on. I think I can't remember exactly what month we spoke before, but in 22, I did 2 films and 2 commercials and 2 movies, a miniseries called Fragment Oblivion. And so that started playing last month on pureflix.com, and it's doing well, and I'm the lead in that, and it's my first sort of real kind of action kind of thing, and great cast. And then the 2 films were both Christmas films, and they'll both be out sometimes this November. One is called Lying Together. The other is Bringing Back Christmas. And Bringing Back Christmas, they were trying to get out for Christmas last year. But once they saw it, they decided to hold it for this year so they can get a wider release as opposed to a 10-screen release, something like that. And in the meantime, they're sending it to festivals and churches, and just start building up some momentum for it, for when it opens up. You can put butts in the seats, at the theaters. And it's really, really a good film. There's a lot of funny stuff in it. There's a lot of heart, and you'll enjoy it. And Lying Together is basically the same thing. I'm a lead in that. I'm a third lead in that. And it's funny. It's kind of a romantic comedy. And I play a pastor in that, and it's a lot of fun. So go see those films.
I said I'm still looking over your films and credits, and I was gonna say, to me, just your look, and then us talking, it seems like you'd be great for one of these like Tyler Perry kind of black church, kind of like films that I can think of, or these holiday kind of, but those more mainstream, or just more, I don't necessarily like Tyler Perry films. I mean, they're a little okay, dude. It's like
Yeah,
what?
he made $1 billion off them.
Yeah,
I did a thing for him at the end of 2020 called All the Queen's Men, and I played a very dramatic role in it, but they gave me some freedom to be funny. So there was some funny moments for me in it, and I did, I think, 4 episodes of the series, and I think one of them they didn't play it, but 3 of them I'm there. So I may end up coming back, or I'm not sure. We'll see. But I don't know. It's like over my career, it's like I haven't done a lot of Black Hollywood stuff. I work with Rusty Cundiff a lot. Part of it is we're good friends, and he knows that I'm solid, and that my work is going to be good. And then part of it is the casting people that cast a lot of that stuff have moved on. They're not there anymore, and so the new faces aren't really bringing me in. It's like me and another friend we're talking about how it's like we're kind of not in Black Hollywood, which is interesting to me. But I think I get enough mainstream work that I don't cry about it.
could be a blessing too. Like, so essentially, what I'm hearing is like you're not typecasted. Is that what they call it? To where you have a plethora of different roles and
that's
seems
that's
like
a definite. I mean, over the years, it's like I started when all the gangbanger movies were out and are coming out, and I played 1 drug dealer or 2 drug dealers, 1 pimp,
yeah.
and that's it. And my other career, the other part of my career is a variety of different characters, which is good. I didn't get sort of pigeonholed as the drug dealer or the pimp or the gangbanger or whatever. And I'm proud to say that I can fit any role given the opportunity.
Yeah. And remember last time you were saying there's not necessarily, you won't turn down a role necessarily based off of your belief or faith or anything, but what is your I don't know if I asked you last time, but do you have an all-time, saying if someone came to you tonight and gave you the budget, gave you the absolute, hey, go get your Oscar, go get your Emmy, like what do you have a vision, or do you kind of have something like that in your head still at this point, or was there ever a like this is my ultimate?
Yeah, I don't know that I chase accolades. It's nice when they come, but I've never. When you go to work, it's like I just want to be the best that I can be, right? And if you get nominated for something, great. 2021, I was nominated for 2 Emmys for 2 short films, and it wasn't. We didn't set out to get nominated for an Emmy. We just set out to do some great work, and luckily I got a nod.
Yeah. Is there, taking away the accolades, is there just maybe some sort of influential role or just a specific character or anything?
I think because I feel like I'm a better dramatic actor than I am a comedic actor. The comedy comes easy, and I get cast that way a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to convince people that that I'm a good dramatic actor. And I think one thing about the producers from Tyler Perry's All the Queen's Men, they said that they knew I'd be great in that role. And then Bringing Back Christmas, they had met me, and I read on Zoom, and they hired me, and they're really happy with the way it came out. So, so for me, I think I would like to do something very heavy, very dark character. I remember watching. One of my favorite actors is John Lithgow, because he's always solid and really good, and really a nice man. And there was an arc that he did on Dexter. And when you first see him, he's this really sweet guy bringing this lady her dog back. and then they cut to another scene, and they cut back to her house, and she's bleeding out in the tub.
Okay.
And so I think for me, it's like I want to play that kind of dark character so that people can see, the extreme opposites of the way I can work.
Wow. Dang. Yeah, that would be, even just talking to you, man. I'd be like, dang, look at Mark. Oh, man, he's not himself right now. He's getting into his character here, because that would be interesting.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like you don't want to be yourself when you're doing it. Really, I think one of the best compliments I ever had was from a childhood friend who was our family friend for years. She came down here to see me in a play, Fences, and I played Gabriel. And her compliment was, every time you were on stage, I never saw you. And that was a great compliment. It's like I had fully immersed myself into this character. And this is a person that knew me since like 10, 11 years old. So for her to say she never saw me when I was on stage, that was great. It's like I've done my work.
Yeah, almost. That's would be kind of terrifying almost too. Like you get so. I mean, if you were playing a creepy character, you'd be like, man. But yeah, I think that's the true art of it, right? The essence. A lot of people think, oh, I can act. I know for a damn, I couldn't in the sense that you're saying, like, nah, it really it's an art. You think that people can learn to act, or it's mostly like a born within sort of like, or is there levels to it?
I think there's two schools of thought that there are people that are born with a lot of natural talent, right? And then there are people who go and they train, and learn to be good technicians. They learn their craft and get better at it every time. And then the people with just pure natural talent, when they train, they get even better. And I remember being a young actor in a play, and this lead in this play, it was Summer Stock Theater, said to me something to the effect of, well, that's because you're not an actor yet. And there was an older lady in the cast, and so when this lady left the table, the older lady said to me, she said, you have a lot of great natural talent. She says, and you will be really, really good as you train. You'll get really good at this. And she went on to say that this particular actress didn't have the natural talent that I have. She said she's trained, and that's the difference. She says, but you'll do things that she's not going to be able to do. And I think that as we train, we all have the ability to be great, and training is the key. It's like if you go into a room as a doctor or a surgeon, if you haven't trained, you're not going to be good at it, right? Yeah. So anything that's worth doing is worth training for. So yeah, people can train, and people can have natural talent, but natural talent is only going to take you so far if you're not trained.
That's great. Yeah, same with any athletics. I'm thinking about myself right now, like, and even every week, I haven't stopped doing a live show a week since you came on. 66 week tonight, but when I see the actual like journalism, the real good interviewers and people with good shows, I'm like, all right, I gotta step up. Like, I probably should definitely do some more research. I need to read. I need to, if I'm going to give the best interview or want people to watch this, I really need to immerse myself in the guest also, pre and post. And so and I really wanted to do this, for the long haul. And if there's another job out there where I can speak and, learn to talk on the mic and engage local disc jockey, whatever, I'm looking at all sorts of opportunities, but thank you for that, Jim.
I on that subject, it's like I do a talk for a company, and one of the things that we talk about are people that are superstars in their industry, and the thing that sets them apart is that they are uniquely them. However, if you took a minute, 60 seconds, and wrote down the people that you admire in your industry, those people, and wrote down how many names you could think of that really grab your attention, and you start looking at, what is it about them that makes me put them on this list, and you watch the way they work, you are going to learn something from them, and in that, find your own unique ability, the thing about you that sets you apart. If you just look at somebody and go, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it like that," it's already been done. So just make yourself unique, and when you look at people that are good interviewers, you're right. It's like they have done their research. They don't come at you with the same old questions. I went through a period where every interview was probably like 10 in a row, where they all literally asked the same questions. Maybe not in the same order, but it was the same questions. And it's always refreshing when I get into a conversation with someone who's interviewing me, as opposed to them saying, okay, these are the questions. Even though they may have written questions, they figure out a way to pose them without making it seem like they're just going down a list. So they make it a conversation. So we're having a conversation, and then these questions come up in the conversation. So yeah, I would encourage you to make a list of people that you admire, who have podcasts that you admire, and figure out what it is that they're doing, and how can you build some of that into what you do, and maintain your uniqueness.
That's amazing. I appreciate that, because even my pauses and my ums, and I don't really write down questions. I'll just memorize them, but it's like real. I do like this conversation aspect.
Yeah.
It just kind of feels like, hey, we're bullshitting. And then, like, I grew up with a little speech impediment, whatever. I have a little Tourette syndrome, mild Tourette's, and I do a little, stutter step with words sometimes. But it's cool that, and I've heard someone else say this too, that they appreciate that sort of natural conversation, and that's what I want my show to be, is like a pubcast. You come in, you get a drink, you sit down, you unwind, put some music on.
Right.
We don't have any on at the moment, but because the jukebox is broken, I gotta go get some more quarters. But yeah, that's what I like to. Out of the, I guess you must do between the touring, stand up, movies, writing, doing podcasts like mine, larger, smaller, everything in between. I mean, out of 365 days a year, I mean, how many of those days are you literally being Mark Christopher? And I guess that's weird, because you're just every day of the year, but the promotion part, a podcast here, is it just literally every day, and then maybe that's why you're successful? Or
No, it's not every day. I mean, you have to take some time for yourself. You have to, self-care is important. So you got to take time for yourself. You have to reset your brain. You have to make sure you're doing those things to keep you mentally sound and physically sound. And for me, when I get that question a lot, how many days of the year am I working? Technically, I'm working every day. Every day I'm trying to do something. Although some days it's minimal. Excuse me. But then there are those times where you are focused on a project, so you have to do X, Y, and Z to help that project happen. And then you have those weeks or those months where there's a lot of that, and then you have some months of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have those months of nothing, I mean, it's kind of refreshing to go, I can kick back and chill for a minute. But then to be able to jump back in is exciting.
Right.
I mean, I like being busy because when I'm not, I tend to think too much about why I'm not busy. Why am I not busy?
Yeah, definitely. Was that saying that devil's idle mind is the devil's playground, right?
Facts.
And
Facts.
I said I used to fish in Alaska when I was younger,
Mhm.
early 20s, and I was one of the younger guys in the boat, and so I'd always just sit there and listen to the older guys about their stories and and one of the jobs, because we were 16 hours a day and like packing fish and just doing kind of tedious jobs at a fast pace and everything, and I would just look around, and then one day I asked the guy, I said, "Bro, what do you think about when you're?" And one guy literally was just like, "What? What do you mean?" I'm like, what do you think about when you're standing there and all this stuff, and we're sitting here for 3-4 hours doing this?" And the guy was like, "Nothing." And that like threw me off because that was like the first time I really started to engage people. I said, wait. What do you mean nothing? Like he's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, like, I didn't even know how to process that because how could you not think of something at all times of the day?
Yeah.
And he proceeded to explain to me that he was out. And I think I made him think because he was like, I don't know. I just kind of space out and it's just like black and gray. And I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, I'm thinking of, 40 different things at this time and imagining this. And I would get so lost because you're removed from the world, miles out in the Bering Sea, and you just you have no sense of time or day really. And so, I mean, sometimes I'd be lucid in the middle of the day, and so, and then no TV, no distraction. It was actually the best period of my life, and I needed that actually as a young man. That was my equivalent to either college or military or prison. Fishing in a freaking Alaska.
Yeah.
That. But yeah, so I love to hear people.
It's funny. It's funny you say that. I got a scholarship from the Southern California Gas Company when I was in high school, and they gave me a summer job, the summer between the 11th and 12th grade, and then a summer between the 12th grade and college, and that was part of the scholarship. They gave me a cash scholarship, and then this job, this entry-level job, which paid great money, right? But it was boring. It was so boring. And I remember doing this job, and a couple of times people were getting like their 30-year gold watch or 40-year ring or whatever. And I was like, if I'm here in 30 years, I'll jump off this dock. And for some people, I mean, that job, I mean, as they moved up, they were making really, really good money, and it's a great living. But it was so mundane. It's like every day I did the same exact thing. And first week I was just bored to death, and I would do it so fast that other workers would get mad at me. And they told me one day, hey, you got to slow down, because when you leave here this summer, they're going to expect us to work at that pace. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And like you said, I was like, wow. It's like, how do you do this and not think of ways to get out of here?
Yeah. I can't imagine that. I was with my last company for 5 years. As far as bartending, I was an airport bartender. I'll say that now that I'm not there anymore. That was cool. Just as far as the like when we talk about Joe jobs or just a job, and people say, "Oh, how do you like bartending?" I say, like everything's it's cool. It's cool. I mean, because it's something I can easily do day in, day out. Of course, we don't want to, but there's absolutely. I've done the warehouse. I've done the hard labor, blue collar, the retail, the forklift driving, everything in between. And all those jobs, now that I have a family to take care of, that was the most weighing on my head, is like, how do I actually just do this every day? I know I'm meant for something greater. I'm going to, I want more out of this life, but I'm trying to carve that little thing out, but still, how do I just function? How do I go home happy and everything? And honestly, bartending is just enabled me to do that because I have freedom and there's always cool people. And I think it's just, the cash.
Yeah. I bartended and waited tables for a few years, when I was in college and for a few years after. And in fact, my last day job, I was waiting tables and bartending. And the only thing I miss about it is the cash every day. That's the only thing I miss about it. But yeah, you're right. You are called for something greater, and it's for you to figure out what it is and chase it. You know what I mean? Go after it. And that's one thing that's where faith and prayer and all that kind of stuff comes in. It's like the Bible says you have not because you ask not. I had a pastor tell me one time that I wasn't asking big enough, because I always pray for other people. He says, you got to pray for yourself. He says, you got to ask God for the things that you want. And T.D. Jakes says that God doesn't tell you no. He says, yes, not now, or I have something better in mind. Because sometimes we're not ready for the thing that we're asking for. When I was in my 20s, clearly I probably wouldn't have been ready for fame. I might have self-destructed like a lot of these young people do, and so I've had a great career that's spanned 3 decades. God had something better in mind. I'm still at it after all these years.
Yeah, man. Is there something? What does it mean if say myself, like I get told this a lot, and they say, man, if even Ray says it, he's like, bro, because he considers me like a golden. He's like, you're a golden child, bro. But in the sense that I've overcame a few things, little things. I'm adopted, whatever, like upbringing stuff, and I'm still here. I'm always and even the fact like yourself and I've had these actors on and people that have done things with their lives, and I'm able to do this Harris is drinking again, man. This is like my baby. This is my little thing to whatever. So there's something there as far as faith. Like I do got some faith in this and have faith in myself. But would you say there's I don't know, like, is that true as far as because I feel blessed most of my life, and I've pretty much had like some miracles. I mean, I should have been maybe some prison time, maybe a lot, like injured seriously. Was in a car accident when I was a kid, not a scratch. I mean, there's been some interesting things, leaving the party just in the right time. But I'm still that guy who, and I be honest about this, like I feel weird when I get down on my knees.
Yeah.
And I go to pray, and there's this like whatever frequency, negative kind of thing, and it's like in my head, it's like don't be a bee, like get up, like what are you doing, like, and so is that Satan? I don't know.
That's exactly who that is. See, misery loves company. When Jesus comes back, bursting through the clouds, and people are going to heaven, Satan doesn't want to be in hell by himself. So he's going to tell you, don't be a bee, get up off your knees.
And that's just that feeling. And if I submit to the gods, like if I push through that one, there really is that glory. Like it's like, man, what have you been waiting for? Sort of deal.
Yeah. And here's the thing. It's like. You don't have to be all, oh, Heavenly Father, this blah 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 blah. You just talk to God the way you talk to your friends. The way you would talk to your father. You talk to him that way. Just talk to him. He just wants to hear you talk to him and be grateful for those miracles that he's put into your life. See, he's looking at you and giving you opportunities. He's not done with you yet. You know what I mean? It's like all those things that car accident, that incident where you should have did some jail time. He didn't want that for you. So there's something more. I would say download on your phone like a YouVersion Bible and just start reading lesson plans. Just read, pick a 7-day lesson plan and start right there. What am I here for? Read something like that, and then just keep reading lesson plans. That's going to work you through the Bible, and I'm telling you, man, it's going to change your life. God is going to be talking to you when you're reading that stuff. And some of them, there's other pastors that do commentaries on the things. I really like to listen to the TD Jakes ones because it's like he's so alive. And but yeah, YouVersion Bible, put that app on your phone. It's free, and just read something every day. And I'll tell you, God will reveal to you what He wants you to do. In His Word, He'll reveal it to you, and then tell Him that when you hit your knees, you want to just have that you time with Him. You don't want the devil in your ear. And then before you know it, that voice, get up, will start just fading. Before you know it, it's not there anymore. And you get down, you say, God, these kids need this, they need that. I need to make these ends meet. How do we do that, Father? Help me to do that. And that's gonna be so huge in your life if you just submit to that, as opposed to submitting to get up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
And I understand the skepticism. It's like because God doesn't he doesn't force us to believe, right? We have free will. You have to make the choice. So ask Him to help you hear Him clearly.
Yeah.
And I'll be praying that for you, that you hear Him clearly, that He talks to you the way He talks to other people, and the way you want to talk to Him. So just have a conversation with Him. That's it. That's all it is.
I appreciate that, man. Couple more things, and we'll get you out. I'm sure you got other things to do, and I appreciate you praying for me. I'm gonna try to say a prayer tonight, man. Old Harry drinking, man. And I do frequently, but in my brain I get caught up because I feel like I have to be sitting there, and there has to be a certain thing. And then I'm like, do I say in the name of Jesus? Do I just say my Lord? Is it cool to just say so I usually do God. I say in the name of God, Jesus, and the universe, just so I cover all bases. The Kemet and the Kemet rabbit hole, and like how Jesus is Haru, and the cross came from the Ankh, and there's a sting in my head, like the name Jesus. It's like the whole I don't know. I just feel like there's this lie around it, to where what's the original source, or why don't we just call Him Yahweh or whatever his like.
Well, he is called many things, a lot of things, Yahweh, and all of that are in there. I'm telling you, if you get in that word, man, God is going to reveal stuff to you.
Okay. And okay. All right. That's what everyone said, man. I'm gonna, slowly but surely delve in there, man. And maybe that is the last missing link. A lot of people tell me this, and it's like I'm just stubborn. And honestly, sometimes I'll be like, why is there this resistance? Sometimes it feels natural, like no, it's just me. I don't believe it on this, but maybe the ultimate submitting is the actual glory that we're all kind of searching for,
Yeah, like only believe. That's it. Only believe.
Mm-hmm.
He was born. He died. He rose in 3 days to save our souls. And He's coming back again. And we are living. If you get into the Bible, man, you'll see that right now we are living in biblical prophecy. It's like He's coming back soon. it's like there's so many things that are happening in the world right now that are right in the Bible that were prophesied. So, only believe, brother. Just hit your knees, hit your Bible, and see where it takes you.
All right. And then naturally, once He starts feeling you, naturally vices will cease, and then I might even want to change it. I'm not drinking anymore. I don't want to do this. Right? That's how it's supposed to.
Yeah. So what's funny is that for some people, it's a miracle and it happens overnight. And for some people, it's a process. As you delve deeper into your life and your journey with God, He starts taking things away from you, giving you a distaste for things, in your life, and you'll start looking at stuff in your life and go, oh man, why am I doing that?
Yeah.
You know, and that's the beauty of it. But some people, I mean, I've known people who were hardcore addicts and committed themselves to God, and boom, overnight, sober. You know, so it's just only believe. Start somewhere. That's it. I don't like to press people. You know what I mean? I said, look, it's simple. He was born, he died, he rose again. You know, only believe.
All right. All right. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that, man. Last question, just real quickly. Do you feel like a lot of podcasters you go on, they refuse to talk about their actual selves and maybe just drill you with the questions because they don't feel that they can, like, this is your time, so I'm not supposed to be telling you about my personal history? Or how do you...
I think there's a mix of that, and then there's those that, you know, you start the conversation and it becomes all about them. So it's like, it makes me go, why was I even on?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So it's just a mixture of like what, but you prefer the, like, real conversation, and then, you know, obviously keep it on your projects and things, but
yeah.
you don't
Well,
mind.
like we're having a great conversation right now, right? And I like this because we're getting some of your questions answered, and I'm learning stuff about you, and you're learning about me, and that's the perfect conversation.
Yeah. Dope, man. All right. Before and then I'm gonna just ask you one more. I'm gonna cut this, but I'm gonna ask you just one more time, like, do whatever plugs you would like to do, and then I'll do my outro, and then and then stop the, recording, and then
When are you going to air this?
I'm thinking, I mean, to be honest, I'm not sure. I don't have a specific timeline. I mean, unless you would
I asked because then that'll inform, you know, what I should plug.
Okay. Let's say within the next, I mean, I can be 2 weeks, or I can be, a month out. Because I'm trying to stockpile a little bit of content right now.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of sit on it for at least 2 or 3 weeks, and I really want to put some stuff in there that you brought up, and throw some different pictures up in there and stuff.
Okay.
So, and it was real cool because the first time you came on, that pretty much kicked off the podcast a lot, and then, like, that same night, I got a message, and then some guy got this other kid out there in California that was going viral, Little Kelpie, and he, like, came on the podcast that night, and then, like, you two together fucking, or excuse me, language, like boost the views, and just did so much, and then we started getting Larry and different people. So thank you, because you were, like, literally the first guy, like, name and actor and man of substance. So that's really awesome. And I appreciate you coming back on and enjoying the conversation. So,
well, I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely.
Hopefully your fans will go follow me on Instagram or something.
Hey, yours too, man. Yours too. You got more than me now. But I'm gonna do everything I can. I'm gonna hit all the socials just harder. That's one thing I shy away from. I've even thought about getting a social media manager, or just finding some college kid at UNR that I can pay. Like, bro, I'll give you $50 a week, whatever, $100 a month. Like, I'll buy you pizza. Just keep it rolling, because I can't keep. Like today,
it's a lot. It's a lot. I've been like having different people help me out from time to time, just because it's a lot especially when I'm busy.
Yeah, keeping them updated, and it's kind of weird being in this space because I don't generally care about the news. I don't really care what's trending, so it's been hard. Even with my live show lately, it's like, dang, I really don't want to talk about anything that's in the news. So
right, because it's all depressing.
Yeah, but let's see, we're at the 54. So yes, Mr. Mark Christopher Lawrence, MCL, please plug anything that you got coming up in the next couple of months, anything at all in the world. Definitely your Instagram, so people can go follow you, guys.
Yes, we're doing clean shows, clean comedy at Mic Drop Comedy in San Diego, June 15th, September 14th, and December 14th. Those are going to be shows that I'm going to produce and host and bring in some of the funniest people that I know that are clean to do shows. If in the show will go on, even if I book like a movie or something, I'll replace myself with somebody that's really funny. But June 15th, September 14th, December 14th, Mic Drop Comedy San Diego, Mic Drop ComedySD.com. You can get tickets. Come and check it out.
Okay, excellent. And I do apologize, because I dropped one F-bomb just a minute ago.
It's all right.
Other than that, it's been a pretty clean show, dry show tonight. Now, what's cool is, though, I do appreciate that I can have someone like yourself on. I have the Samsung TV, comes with the phone, and they actually have a dry bar like comedy channel.
Oh, what?
On this
TV?
Yeah, and it's 24/7. And
Yeah.
I look often because I'm like, I'll go, like, if you haven't seen you in there yet, but I'm sure they put you in rotation and just wait one day. And anyway, I appreciate.
You could probably search for me in there.
Okay.
Probably go in there and just go to the search bar, put my name in, and my special will come up.
Okay, I didn't even think. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's called Clean Outta Compton. Mark Christopher Lawrence, Clean Outta Compton.
Okay. I've watched some on YouTube.
Yeah.
Your the belly button and the butter fountain and stuff like that. And I'm like, and then you get very animated. I'm like, cool, but it's nice to be able to watch something with my son, or if my son's in the room, I don't have to turn ears, because I've had to be monitoring some of the YouTube shorts, you know, and then it's mostly these games, but then every once in a while I hear this crazy music coming out of I'm like, what are you listening to?
Yeah. My mom's birthday was yesterday. She's turned 84. So my little great nephew, we all went out to dinner, and then we went back to her house, and he was playing some game, and then all of a sudden he jumped, and I heard this kind of eerie music and this, and I said, what was that? And then he quickly changed what he was watching. I said, put it back. I want to see what you were watching. And it was a game, and within the game there was this very sort of demonic sort of sound coming out of there. I said, don't watch that stuff. And I knew it scared him because he jumped and then quickly changed it. Yeah. And so yeah, we got to watch what our young people are doing.
Definitely. Absolutely. I'm a big component of that, man. And I'm actually pretty mindful with my son. Like, I actually have to get on my lady a little bit more. She's, we'll pull up. I'll put, like, babe, turn the music down. Like, what are we listening to? No. Let's cut that off. I don't like to do too much stuff around my kid. But I know last time also, Wise Guys, Salt Lake. I'm not there anymore. If you ever come up to the Reno area or Sacramento, hey, definitely Sacramento. Yeah. Myself for sure, but I don't know. Are some of your shows? Can you have kids there? Is it all ages? I would assume, or
depends on where I'm playing. Like clubs where they're still serving alcohol, probably not. Right. Churches, I do a lot of churches, so churches definitely. Sacramento, I usually get up there to Laughs Unlimited. I've been hitting her up, trying to get back up there. The the Reno area. Sometimes I work for Wayne over at the Reno Tahoe Comedy Club. But I come up there a lot just to hang because my buddy Court, he opened Legends Bay Casino in Reno, and he's a part owner there and part owner of Fandango in Carson City. So I may be there at Fandango for their Rib Fest that's coming up. You should go to that Rib Fest, man. They have like 4 or 5 vendors that are award-winning ribs, and the last time I went, I was like, "Woo!"
Yeah, is it different from the actual rib cook-off? It's
Fandango.
Okay.
Yeah. When it's Fandango, it's called Rib Fest.
You're in Reno. Okay.
And that's in Carson City.
Carson City. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be there. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Anytime you're up this way, I'd like to.
I'll let you know.
Hang out, and definitely I would love to support you. Though more importantly, I'll buy some tickets to your show and come support and come hang out, man.
Cool, man.
And then on the back end, I really think you and Ray should do something. Just the way you're speaking and the way his vision is. I think it would be really awesome, and then just for you guys to grow on that.
Yeah, tell them to email me and let's get something on the books.
Oh yeah, sounds good, man. Mr. Mark Christopher Lawrence, I appreciate you so much, sir. I hope you have a good rest of your night and the rest of your weekend, because it's starting now. So TGIF.
I appreciate you, Harris, and know that I will be praying for you. You go to the top of my prayer list.
Hey, that means a lot, man. I definitely appreciate it, man. All right. Well, until next time, hopefully there is a third time. And, stay up, stay blessed.
Anytime. Let's do it around. Let's do it around November so we can plug Bringing Back Christmas. Maybe I'll even have a clip that you can probably play by then.
Okay. That'll be awesome. I'm still going to be going the consistency, and I can't wait to see what the channel is by then. So.
Awesome.
Alrighty, sir.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark Christopher Lawrence. Yo, what's going on, guys? If you like this video, click above. We got 2 more right there, or down there, or somewhere. Hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more content. We got amazing interviews like the one you've just seen or the clip you just seen. I don't know what you watch because I put this behind the end of every video. So stay